What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I'm back with some more Destiny 2 Shadowkeep and Season of Undying stuff to talk about. So firstly we have some new story teasers, the haunting of Eris Morn's Fireteam, so we'll touch on that, but we're going to talk about returning enemies, the Undying Mind is back, which of course is rather fitting, but we have new details about strikes, how they appear to be changing going into Year 3, we'll touch on rewards and Pinnacle weapons, and new progression, and then Bungie are making the annual pass from Year 2 free, but we've got a few other things to round up in the video as well. So guys, if you're new around here and you enjoy the content, be sure to hit subscribe, but otherwise, let's get into it. So firstly, let's touch on the community challenge that's been taking place this week. It would appear that we are very much nearly done with it right now. So Bungie tweeted a few hours back, and you can see that we've got a few Zol, Nokris, and Hive kills to get, but according to folks on Reddit, the Zol kills should be done, and so it looks like we're going to get this done today. Of course, if we do complete it, Bungie will add an additional random drop whenever we get loot in the menagerie, so that should start immediately, and then every Friday up until the end of the season, another one will be added. So if you need to farm menagerie loot, this is going to be a pretty significant opportunity, but also, if you complete at least one nightfall during the event, you can get access to that emblem. And so this will probably finish up later today. I'm away from home over the weekend, but I will drop a community post on the channel to let you guys know when it's done. Next up though, we have some pretty interesting story stuff to touch on for Shadowkeep. Revealed via one of these Shadowkeep t-shirts, some of the figures of dead guardians on the moon actually consist of Eris' Fireteam, and that includes Ariana 3. Of course we're getting the hand cannon, Ariana's vow, and that vow was revenge on Crota. So she actually formed a Fireteam together with Eris and 4 other guardians. But then of course, as we know, things didn't go so well for them in the Hellmouth. And so it looks partially like we'll get some pretty juicy lore about that story, but also the mass of figures that we see floating above the moon are dead guardians and victims of the great disaster that took place when Crota and the Hive originally attacked. And that bit we kind of knew about, but it's really cool that Eris' Fireteam will kind of be a haunting feature of the Shadowkeep story. Here though, Bungie confirmed that we will face the Undying Mind once again in Season 8, so I missed this one, but the description reads, defend our moon from the Vex invasion and face the Undying Mind. And so the giant Hydra, who caused no end of trouble in the Black Garden, will be a kind of core feature. We're not sure whether Undying Mind will be a boss inside a Vex offensive, or specifically as part of the Vex invasion, but certainly the returning boss has a significant part to play in the story for Season 8. Now though, we have some pretty interesting looking changes that'll be coming to strikes in the game. So Imaginary Escapism on Reddit pointed something out that we hadn't noticed yet, and so it looks like we're going to see a weekly featured strike in Shadowkeep. So on the left hand side, it lists 5 different difficulties for weekly strikes. We've got Heroic, which is 800 power, Legendary at 900 power, Nightfall at 930, and then a listing for 2 others at 950 and 990, but they don't actually have names next to them. It also appears that there is some kind of strike scoring system there, and it does make sense, because Ben Womack from Bungie said previously that Adept, Hero, and Legend difficulty modes will be part of the evolution of the Nightfall system. We're adding new difficulty tiers to challenge players, and that's a small taste of what some of those extra levels will be, and the activities they'll apply to in Shadowkeep. But it does say that there are a lot of details that they're not getting into just yet. And so with Heroic, Legendary, and Nightfalls listed as difficulties in this new window, maybe we'll see Bungie actually combine the strike playlist, and so if you wanted to do a Nightfall, perhaps you'd have to select that as a difficulty. But also, if this is a thing, it could mean that the current Nightfall exclusive rewards may also drop across other versions, and maybe you get better chances in the more difficult strikes. But it does look like we could have 6 strikes featured at one time, and of course that could mean 6 featured pieces of loot every week, and I know that we'd all love more strike unique loot in the game, so hopefully there's going to be an update to current drops, you never know, but it does seem almost certain that we'll see new drops from the 2 new confirmed strikes. So that's kind of how this could affect the playlists, but another thing that I failed to notice is that Bungie confirmed only 2 new free Pinnacle weapons for Season of the Undying. One of them will be for Gambit, and one will be for Crucible, and so we don't have a Vanguard Pinnacle weapon actually listed here. However, especially with the possibility of the new strike playlist, maybe the Vanguard weapon will kind of fall under the umbrella of DLC, because also on Bungie.net, it does say Crucible and Vanguard activities will award pursuit weapons to people who maximize their potential. And so I don't think it's the case that there will be no kind of Vanguard weapon reward. It seems likely that it's just going to be different to the other free Pinnacle weapons. Also on the character screen, there is a new tracker, which folks have speculated could be a Vanguard rank of some sort, but probably more likely is that it's a tracker for Triumph score. In terms of what'll be going on inside of these new strikes though, spoiler alert, but one of the new strike screens for a split second does say reach the top of the tower, and we know that Scarlet Keep is going to be a new strike on Luna, And so it looks like we'll probably be scaling that prominent tower that we see in the skyline. So yeah, Bungie aren't revealing exactly how this new system works just yet, but we are starting to get an idea of how strikes will evolve. My biggest hope personally, especially with them doing this stuff, is that we'll have some kind of tasty loot to chase. But the new Vanguard quest pursuits they alluded to could totally provide that. Let us know down below how you think strikes could evolve in Shadowkeep, any stuff you'd love to see, or thoughts on the changes that we know of so far. Here though, following Bungie's reveal of sandbox and PvP changes yesterday, they do clarify a few different things. So someone asked initially, Bottom Tree Striker and Dawnblade are going to be adjusted, right? And that is in reference to the duration of those supers, but Bungie said, shoot them, and the duration will be adjusted. Of course they are changing the health pools for players, and so in those roaming supers we are going to be easier to take out, but Bungie did say seriously though, we'll pass along your feedback to the team. So those roaming supers are things that they're aware of. I guess really it'll depend how easy it will be to kind of coordinate and take down a Bottom Tree Striker after the update. Bungie also confirmed that super mods are going away in Armor 2.0, with Intellect completely replacing it. So don't expect to see those mods come back into the game. I'm not sure whether that includes old gear, whether they're actually taking that mod out of the game, because on the most part, anything we currently have will still work as it stands, but it's possible some things could be adjusted, especially to align with the fact that we do have stats like Intellect now. Imagine that, a load of super mods with a load more Intellect. It could be rather nasty. Some players were asking about the maps that Bungie plan to remove from PvP, whether they're likely to return, whether they're actually being reworked. And DMG highlighted from the TWAB that while these maps are out of rotation, if time allows, Bungie also hope to improve how they play by tweaking spawn areas, ammo spawns, and overall structure so that they return better than before. And an example of that would be Dead Cliffs, which is definitely a pretty spawn-trappable map in general, although there has been mixed feedback on precisely which maps Bungie are removing from the game, so as always I'd love to hear more of your thoughts on that. DMG does add though that this is the first round of maps being taken out of rotation, they'll return eventually and they'll look at other maps to tune as well. A quick loot-related mention right here, some folks were saying that Iron Banner gear should be turned into ornaments for the current Iron Banner gear, or the Year 3 stuff, and so DMG said here's the deal, Year 1 Iron Banner ornaments from Seasons 2 and 3 can be applied to the new set, but armor sets from Years 1 and 2 will not be ornamented. They just say they're collecting further feedback on it, but basically, any Iron Banner ornaments from the first couple of seasons can be used on new Iron Banner gear that we get in Year 3. Might be something to bear in mind if you like any of that gear. Otherwise though, after another week of fairly juicy info about what's happening in Shadowkeep, as I mentioned a couple of days back, next on the roadmap really, is going to be the new trailer dropping at the Sony conference at Tokyo Game Show, and that should be happening next week on Thursday, so Bungie have got a slot for a trailer. It's very likely that this will be something new, so I'll keep you up to date on that, and once again if you're new to this channel, get subscribed, turn on those notifications, and you won't miss out on anything. Next though, a quick shout here is that Bungie are making some of Destiny 2's DLC free. So as Shadowkeep nears, we're making it easier than ever to play all that Destiny 2 has to offer. They've reduced the price of the Forsaken Complete Collection, but also the annual pass is going to go free for all Forsaken owners on September 17th. And so if you currently own Forsaken but you don't own Annual Pass with Black Armory, Drifter, and Season of Opulence, then as long as you own the Forsaken DLC, as of September 17th, Annual Pass will be included with it. So if you already own it, you should be good, but equally, if you buy it after that date, you'll still get the Annual Pass for free. Griffin from Bungie also clarified what content you'll get depending on what you own, so for free, after October, everything from Year 1 and Year 2, with the exception of raids, dungeons, exotic quests, and the campaign, will be available without purchase. If you own Forsaken, you'll get everything from Year 1 and Year 2. If you own Shadowkeep, you'll get everything included in that DLC and the current season. Then with Shadowkeep Deluxe, you'll get everything in Year 3. Also interesting is that if you purchase Shadowkeep, but you purchase it in Season 9 instead of Season 8, which is Season of the Undying, then you would actually get Season 9 for free. So at whatever point that folks come on board for Shadowkeep, they're going to get the current season free of charge. But yeah, if you own Forsaken and you don't own Annual Pass, definitely hold on till September 17th, and you'll be able to experience any of that content if you want to. Of course, just a couple of days ago I was saying it was the first year anniversary since Forsaken dropped, but of course that also goes for Destiny 2 Vanilla. It's crazy to think we've already had 2 years of D2, man. For today though guys, that's everything that I have to round up in the video, so as always I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let us know your thoughts on those story teasers, the changes that appear to be coming to strikes, or any of the sandbox stuff. But as always, if you have enjoyed the video, a like down below is very much appreciated and really helps me on the channel. But otherwise, thank you as always for tuning in guys, and I hope you have an awesome day.